what's up, everybody? You know what it is. This is the process. Give it a minute for people to join in, but got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna try to condense it down, make sure we stay within 30, 45 minutes of the time frame. Like always, please like, subscribe on the channel, but also please ask the question that you have in the comment section. Uh, with that, let's get it in. I know a lot of people got a lot of different things that's going on in the news space, in the news landscape that they want to ask questions about. So please ask those questions in the chat. But we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna parse this. We're gonna crack this fable and get an understanding of what's going on. But with all that being said, let's jump into it. For the people that's going to join later, join later. But also, just please, hit the questions in the comment section. I know I said that 3 times because I love hearing the questions that people have out there that's going on, and I like to respond to those. So it's not just like a formal format that we have. But first up, for the young ladies out there, young ladies and young gentlemen, and when I'm saying young, I mean people that's in the Social Security space. Just to let you know that Social Security for 2026 is projected to increase. The Social Security payments are projected to increase 2.7%. So whatever you're receiving now, expect a 2.7% increase. Of course, it might be some taxes added on to that or what have you, but just know that's what's going on in the Social Security space. Inflation came out. Inflation data came out on Tuesday and Thursday. So inflation data came out at 2.7%. It says that the Trump tariffs didn't have a major impact on the inflation that we are seeing. So that's why you saw a little bit of market rally on Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we saw a little ad libbing and then coming down a little bit on Friday. And we talked about that last weekend, and I said that I expect that the market will probably double tap, try to hit a new high, and then we'll, recess and then come back down a little bit. So everything is working along that. With that inflation number, the wholesale inflation number also came out on Thursday, and that was at 0.9%, almost 1% increase on inflation for wholesale goods. With that, that means that wholesale goods and stuff that's coming into the business, not the consumer, is increasing. So the gap between what the business is paying to what they sell to the customer, that margin is shrinking. So that's something that we need to look out for. But that's why we saw the market come down a little bit. What else happened this week in the market? Another thing that happened this week in the market is the 5/1 ARM. If refis has been picking up, especially with the interest rates coming down a little bit. The refi market has picked up a little bit, but the 5/1 ARM has been the prevalent package that people have been going to when it comes to refi. And then when you start talking about ARMs, let's get a little understanding about that. The ARM is you're paying a fixed rate for a shorter amount of time, and then it readjusts 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. I mean, I know some people with 20-year ARMs, but it's give you a lower rate now, but then when the rate readjusts after your period, if it goes up or go down, then you have to deal with that. That was something that happened a lot during the GFC, Great Financial Crisis, but a lot of refis have been going into the ARM, so people pay attention to that. I mean, me, I'm a fixed rate 30-year debt. I do have some shorter term debt going on, but it's well within my realm of what I'm trying to do and what I plan on doing as far as real estate. But I wanted to point that out. Don't get sucked into those, those ARM payments, and then next thing you know that the eureka moment happens, and then the interest rate goes higher, and then you sitting there stuck and don't know what to do. So don't jump into that. Last but not least, another detail that came out of deals that's being made in the M&A space, mergers and acquisition. That's what M&A means, mergers and acquisitions. That came out. Gildan buys Hanes brands. For people in America, Hanes brands, you know, the Michael Jordan commercials about Hanes and Fruit of Balloons, but Hanes was just bought by Gildan brand for $2.2 billion. $2.2 billion for this brand. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because I know it's a lot of people out there that, you know, have the side hustles, have the t-shirt businesses and things like that. And Gildan, which is a Canadian company, is the go-to spot to buy the t-shirts at a very discounted rate. But with Gildan paying $2.2 billion for Hanes brand, it's going to allow them to increase the price for Gildan prices for their t-shirts, because what happened before this deal was done was if they raised it too much in Canada, people would be like, well, if it costs too much, or, you know, the side hustle people would be like, well, if it costs too much here, then I'll just stay domestic and go Hanes. And then what usually happen is Gildan would lose market share if they raise the price too high. But with Gildan buying Hanes, now they can put them on par or even put it higher for Hanes that make them have to buy Gildan brand. So for the people that's on the side hustle space of, you know, doing the designer t-shirts and things like that, or for the small businesses using Gildan to, you know, make their t-shirts, especially here in Florida, that's trying to, you know, have the shops and have the beach wear and all that, and they use Gildan, just understand the prices will increase. The prices will increase. And when I repeat something, that means that that's something that you should pay attention to, because that's usually what happens. But yeah, but those are the things that I wanted to point out. Another thing that I wanted to point out, it was a survey done, or some tech strategist on CNBC, and I'm looking at it right here, right before I came on to this live. They talked about Trump's beautiful bill, and they talked about which states will benefit more for the beautiful bill, and who will have the biggest impact, and the people that will have the less impact from the beautiful bill. And then of course, you know how the narrative goes: Trump do something or Biden do something. Biden do something, it's only for Democrats. Or Trump do something, it's only for Republicans. But the survey came out. And I'm just looking at it, and it's talking about the top 10 states. The top 10 states it's talking about more than the top 10 states, but I'm just going to give you the top 10. What it says in the video or the article here, it says that the average tax savings that people will receive from the big beautiful bill will be an average of $3,752. That's the average savings across the United States. Now, the states that will benefit the most is, and remember, Trump's a Republican. However you want to play that. Trump's a Republican, but these are the states that will benefit the most from the big beautiful bill. In 2026, Wyoming, Republican state. Washington, Democrat state. And Wyoming, I'll give you the numbers. Wyoming, $5,300. That's the savings that they look to get. Washington, $5,300 also. Massachusetts, Democrat state, $5,100. Florida, of course, Republican, about $5,000. We'll just call it $5,000. DC, District of Columbia, about $4,900, Democrat. Connecticut, $4,600. I mean, it's a couple numbers after that, but I'll just keep it with big numbers. New Hampshire, $4,500. Colorado, $42. Nevada, $42. And California, $41. And then if you look at this list of different states, I see about 7 states as Democrat that will benefit from this bill also. And now some people have if they read the article and they have some other outliers, just go ahead and hit it in the chat section. By comparison, Mississippi, West Virginia, New Mexico, Kentucky, Alabama, all Republican states. All Republican states, they will receive less than a $3,000 benefit from the big beautiful bill. So take that for what it's worth. And I like to deal in facts. I'm a pragmatic guy. I I understand the emotional side of it and different elements that go along with it, but I try to eliminate all emotions that I have about any situation and just be pragmatic and try to focus on the things that are really true and not how I feel about what's going on. Going on to that. And then we're gonna go into the subject that sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's funny that this is the subject matter of this week, but what's also funny is Brian Adamson. People that don't know who Brian Adamson is, I believe that is the second link in the chat. If you're not tapped into his YouTube channel, you're missing out on some great information. But Brian Adamson, he put out a short, and what he did was he kept going, and he was talking about, and he talked about this thing called Proverbs 23:9. He talked about this thing, Proverbs 23:9, and he said that, and I'm gonna read Proverbs 23:9 because I don't want to misparaphrase him. He said, "Advise against sharing wisdom with those who are foolish, because they will not appreciate or value your words, or may even mock them." It highlights the importance of discernment and communication, knowing when it's not beneficial to offer counsel. So for the people that's been on this channel for longer than a day, longer than a couple years, at the beginning of this channel, I used to always say that I wanted people to succeed more than they wanted to. And then so when he put out this short this week, I had to reach out to him, on a personal and public level. If, like I said, if you join the channel, and I'm trying to tell you, he brings good information. And for the people that don't know who Brian Adamson is, Brian Adamson has been known for the past decade as just 100% real estate guy on how to get stuff done. But recently, I want to say in the last 3 to 6 months, he's pivoted to really faith-based business and entities like that, doing everything based off the Bible and biblical. And on my channel, and I always say I'm a heathen, but I always say that that book called the Bible will get you everywhere you need to go. And it don't matter what your religion, faith-based it is, it's just the information there. And I've had lives, and we've talked about the Bible and stuff like that. And I say, even heathens and people that don't even follow the Christian text, they still follow what's in the Bible, even though they're not Christians. But Brian pivoted to that, which I appreciate him for, and I salute him for that. But he is Detroit born and bred. He's a homie from the town, but he lives here in Florida. And he was, talking about remote investing, but then he pivoted to business and just doing faith-based and things like that. But again, I'm gonna say Proverbs 23:9. It says, "Advises against sharing wisdom to those who are foolish, because they will not appreciate the value, or they will not appreciate or value your words, and even mock what you're saying." And that is what I felt the whole time. And I say that not, looking angry or being mad or upset. And I always said that, again, I'm going to repeat myself because I just want to, hit this message home. I always felt like I cared about people's financial success more than they did. And then I even told some people, hell, I'm on blood pressure medicine because of trying to force people to get to that financial level. And then when I reached out to Brian and we talked about it. Again, it's on. Again, look at the video that he provided. The conversation was right there, live in a living color. I didn't hide it behind closed doors. Of course, I could have, texted him. Of course, I could have, sent them a DM or something like that. But I wanted it to be put out there in the masses that live hit home. That live was something that was very prevalent to what I was doing. And then he told me, I'm the fool for getting upset because people are not listening and people don't want to move in that direction where I'm going, or move in the direction that they should be going, or getting upset at family members because they're in a bad situation. You're providing them the good information and they don't listen. And that, for me, that was a hallmark of, hey, stepping back, because I always wanted to step back and just let people do them, but I feel like I was shortchanging them. I feel like that I was giving them the short end of the stick because I wouldn't keep, pressing them push on to do their thing. And I always felt like I wanted to pull back, but I feel like I was, I'm trying to look for a lack of a better word. I was counting them out of what their true ability is. That's really what I want to say. And what he told me was like, it was okay. It was okay to, fall back. Hey, you tried what you tried. It didn't work. You keep giving out the information, but give it to the people that want it and then forget about the people that don't want it and how it's biblical, which was, a very refreshing thing for me. So that's why I want to get into the term of sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah, I get sick and tired of, pushing a narrative, pushing a narrative, and I see people that's just on the cusp of a breakthrough and they don't do it. Or they want to revert back to what they used to doing. My sons, I'll pivot to my sons to give you an example. My sons think I'm crazy. I mean, people who hear me talk about my kids, they think I'm crazy when I talk about them. And when I say that, I mean, in my family, we don't celebrate nothing that hasn't been done before. So I remember having conversations with my older son when he, graduated high school, and everybody, have the graduation parties and all that. That's already been done before. We ain't celebrating that. You're supposed to graduate high school. What the hell you been going to school for this whole time? Yeah, I understand people don't graduate, but that's neither here nor there, or what the hell we about. So we're not celebrating something that should be done. And then we go on in life, and then I told them, people already got bachelor's degrees in our organic family, so I'm not celebrating that. So you got to do something that's not been done before. And then I remember my son, he pivots, get out of the military, and then he pivots and then go buy a house. And that was the first time that he probably ever heard me say congratulations. And then he was saying, I don't want no congratulations for this. And I wasn't congratulating him because he bought a house. I was congratulating him because he bought a house at the youngest age in my family that's ever bought a house. And he did the deal flawlessly. He did a deal that will set him and his family up, that they can do more deals and they can have a property that they're not house poor, and they can, their cost of living is way higher. That's why I'm congratulating him. Because I bought a house when I was close to his age, but I bought it 100% wrong, and I did everything wrong in the process. And that is the thing that people do. I'm not just celebrating, oh, you bought a house. Okay, what if you bought a house and then you're 100% house poor and you can barely afford it? I'm not celebrating that. I'm not doing housewarmings. I have never been to a housewarming party a day in my life. But I like to celebrate the things that's never been done before and done right. Like my younger son, I'm just throwing it out there, that little savage here, he got a huge hurdle to jump. I mean, because in our organic family, and I'm talking, when I say organic, I mean just me, my kids, and my household. It's bachelor's degrees, master's degrees is normal. So if you plan on going to school, we ain't celebrating until it's a PhD. I mean, now your brother, I'm talking to my younger son, your brother just killed the game on a real estate deal at 23 years old. So unless you killing it at 18, it ain't nothing to celebrate. We want to strive and push in my household. We want to strive and push people to do way better than what the generations before them did. We're not just sitting here just, it's cool because everybody's celebrating. We just don't do it. But when we get to the whole aspect of sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm sick and tired, and people should be sick and tired of just going through the same narrative that we've been through our whole life. And we talked about this a little bit last week, and I know I was going off, and I was angry, and I was pissed off about a lot of different things that was going on out there. But I'm pissed off because people just refuse to grow. They don't want to do extra. They don't want to do better. They still want to relive the 60s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s and act like, oh, that's all we're good for. And it's not a black-white thing. This is not a oppression thing. This is about, hey, this is 2025. We should be elevating and doing better. We shouldn't just be sitting here acting cool. We should be sitting here trying to elevate ourselves so we can have the funds, we can have the bread, we can have the bag, we can have all those things out there so we can actually take care of our family instead of just saying, oh, that's what we supposed to do, but we ain't got it. That is what I mean by sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, I remember when I was coming up and I didn't have no guidance and I was just sitting there trying to figure out how to, how to win in life. I didn't have any mentors. I picked up a couple books because, Encyclopedia Britannica wasn't something that we can afford back in the day. But I picked up a couple books when I got older and I started learning. And for the people that's out there and I don't care what side of the scale you're on. I don't care if you're white and believe black people are trying to oppress you or you're black and believe white people trying to oppress you. But I've read damn near hundreds of books now. Damn near hundreds of books. I'm not at 100, but I done read a lot of books. And I read a lot of books about finance. It's not broken down by race. Money is universal. Money is 100% universal. And I'm telling you that based on a guy. Remember, I was the fake it till you make it guy. I was the guy that was broke, that every penny I got, I went and bought shoes, clothes, and crap to try to make people look like I had money. And it's funny, right before I got on this live, somebody sent me a quote from Warren Buffett and said, jewelry and clothes is not how much money you're worth. It is how much money you spent. But we'll sit out here, and I was one of them, so I'm not casting judgment. I was one of them at a young gun. I was out there trying to, buy the shoes, getting the latest Jordans, getting the latest retros, getting the latest clothes. I'm going to the mall, buying the latest Turkish links. I don't even think they still do Turkish links, but back in my day, buying the latest Turkish link, putting the charm on there. I'm acting like I'm a rap star, but I ain't even got $2 in my pocket. Credit card maxed out. My Star card for y'all military people out there is bleeding, is screaming and crying. That's what I was doing. With just giving that illusion. But then, as I got older, got more mature, all the money I spent on faking it and making people believe that I had it, if I just used that energy to actually get it, that's when I realized showing off is no benefit to nobody. Well, no, it's damn sure not a benefit to you. You might can get the girls with it or whatever. They think you're doing your thing, but once you understand the opportunity cost and be like, hey, I'm about to go spend, $2,000 on this chain, but I can go spend $2,000 here and it can bring me residual income, then money start looking a little different. But again, I was the guy. I was the fake it till you make it guy. I was the guy that was, I'm in the mall every weekend or, military days, the 1st and the 15th. I was that guy. Buying new clothes, buying new shoes. I'm hitting the club, trying to pick up the girls with the clothes. Only thing it did was made me broker. It didn't make more money in my pocket. So don't sit here. Well, I don't want you to sit here and think that I'm sitting on a high horse. I've been super broke before, and I've had a couple pennies in my pocket. I'd rather sit there and have a couple pennies in my pocket and not look like I have nothing than have nothing and make it look like I have a lot. Because the only thing that's going to happen is you sit here and fake it, especially in this social media world, you're going to sit there and get exposed by everybody in your community because social media makes the world way smaller. It points you out, call you out, and everything else. So understand the environment you're in. I would rather everybody grow and have more money in their pockets than sit here and play the pretend game. For me, myself, I live the life of people pretending. I've seen my father sit there and he don't have two nickels to rub together, but he didn't got the latest fake chain or whatever, and it made it look like that he had something. I seen the cost of faking it till you making it, and then people in the hood who didn't have nothing, and you out there faking it, and then seeing my house get broken into because people was faking like, because my father was faking like we had something that we didn't have. I've seen all that. So when you wonder why I choose the spectrum of, hey, get it and not fake it, and then get it and act like I don't have nothing, that's the reason why. I don't follow the crowd. And the thing is, if you really look at history and really look at the rap game, you look at the Nas's, you look at the Jay-Z's, when they was, they was worth about $1 million, they had the gold chains on and all that and shaking and moving. And then you see Nas getting into the venture capital space, and then you see the Jay-Z, he got he got a little bit of everything going on. And they looking more close to homeless than they looking like they got money because they realize the opportunity cost. Just look at it. That is the thing that people are not paying attention to. Jay-Z probably I think right now he's the highest hip hop guy, and he looking like, and trust me, I'm not trying to offend nobody. He looking like a dreadhead and Opalaka sitting on the corner. The more money he make, the more homeless he look. And I'm not trying to take a shot at Jay-Z, but I'm just trying to take home a point. Look at Nas. Nas used to have the big joint on. He used to have the Cuban and Turkish joint on with the big medallion. Now you see Nas, he in a 4-piece suit with no tie on, button to the top. He ain't even showing his taco meat off the top. And we still out here trying to fake it. So that's just something that I just wanted to, point out is me, and early on, and I agree. Hey, New, how's it going? Me early on, I agree. I was 100% totally focused because I thought, and this is what I thought coming in. I thought coming in when I was starting to get my financial situation together, I said, the thing is my family, my friends, they just don't know the information out there. I'm going to get all the information, and then I'm going to help them out, and then they're going to be so happy, so energetic to change their financial situation. And this was after I read Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover book for like the 4th time. I didn't listen to the audio book about 100 times, literally about 100 times. And I thought, like, yeah, this is it. And then I happened to read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's one part in the book that stuck out to me more than anything. The whole book, great information about how finances work, how the business sector works, how debt works. All that is recommend everybody should read it 5 times. But the one part that stuck out to me in the book, especially coming up not knowing no better, in the book Robert said in the book, my rich dad, everybody knew how much money he made. Everybody knew his net worth. But nobody asked him how he did it. The only thing people asked him for was money or a job. And when I read that the first time, I was like, huh. So I turned back and read it again. And I always said, oh, not my people, not my family, not the people I know. They just lacked it. They lack the information or knowledge to know that it's out there. And then so I got the knowledge, and then I went to share it. I mean, as soon as I got the knowledge, I went to share it. I didn't wait till, hey, I'm $5 million in a game, and then I'm sharing it. I shared it right off the bat. And lo and behold, Robert Kiyosaki, and then I don't know if y'all know who Robert Kiyosaki is. He, I think he's Samoan descent, Japanese descent. I'm not for sure, but he's over there from the islands over there on the western part of the hemisphere. I thought that it was just, directed to his people. But in true reality is that is the true reality. Because I went and shared everybody, and I did it at the detriment of myself. I mean, friends that I had back then, family members that I had back then, people that I talked to back then, I was so ingrained to push this information out to them so they could get the information, because I thought as soon as they learned that, oh, it's something different, they was going to jump on it. But the true reality is no. I got back the same thing that Robert Kiyosaki got. Hey, can I get a job? Hey, can I get some money? Hey, I know you doing it, so go ahead and, why don't you just break me off a little bit? But nobody was asking how I did it. And then so that was like the eureka moment. It should have been the eureka moment for me many years ago, but it wasn't. I still thought that I had that mindset until recently. I mean, Brian Abson video, that would just let me know that it was okay to just take a step back. Because even though I wanted to take a step back, because, people would call me and say, hey, they doing this. I'm like, hey, well, maybe you want to pivot and do that. I used to do that all the time. And then I noticed that a lot of times, oh, well, I ain't talking to that motherfucker no more because that he only thing he want to do is critique what the hell I'm doing. And then so I fell back from that. And then, people go out, party, do their thing. And I wouldn't say nothing. I'd just be like, cool, what's going on? What's happening? And but I still feel bad that I wasn't, kept pushing the narrative to get better, to get better, to get better. And then with Brian Adamson video, it made me just say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm not calling the people that don't listen fools. I'm just saying I need to focus more on giving the information to who needs the information. And I'm not saying that to saying, oh, I'm about to cancel this channel. No, that's not what it is. What I'm saying is I will give the information for the people who get it, they get it. People who don't, and then life goes on. But I'm not taking it home with me. I'm not going to sit up there many nights talking to my wife trying to figure out what I did wrong. I know the information is correct because I did it. It's people who actually listen who've done it. I mean, you've seen people on this channel. You've seen the Alexes of the world. I'll call out somebody. I'll call out some people, but they probably don't want to be called out because they're going to be like, oh, don't tell nobody I got something. But, the J. Horseys of the world, the T. Horseys of the world, the Nazons and families of the world. Then, of course, y'all know my mom. We talked about my mom and her situation of the world. And people that's just sitting there, that's, I'm getting the positive feedback from a few. And I appreciate them, and I appreciate the fact. I remember sitting there talking to my cousins, and we reminiscing on how we grew up in the hood with nothing. And, we scraping together to get, $1 for some better made chips. And then now we having conversations talking about tens of thousands of dollars. And I had to pause and have that moment to be like, y'all remember where we came from, and this is where we at now. So I appreciate all of them, and I salute them and everything else. But the true reality of it is people won't get to that point of, hey, we want to do better until they're, like Dave Ramsey said it, like other people said it, until they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can't force people to be sick and tired and sick and tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can't do that. The thing is, and this was my fear, and the reason why I pushed it home so much is because time is finite. Time is a thing that we don't have a lot of. Just think about it. If the average age is 60, and I'm just talking about me. If the average age is 60, I just spent 25, 30% of my lifetime just getting from 0 to 19. Deployed, I was in foreign countries fighting combat for 6 years. So I spent 10% of my life actually fighting in combat. So what do I got left? Time is not this infinite thing that we have out there. And that's why I was trying to push it and force it, because I wanted people to change their family tree. But the thing is people ain't going to change until they want to change. And I will say it all day is most generations, and I'm going to start with the boomers and move forward, they are selfish. They don't care much about their family, much let alone themselves. I didn't talk to many people that's in Gen X and boomers, and I'd be like, hey, so what's the plan for your family? And they say, oh, they better figure out like I did. You birthed these people. You chose to have these people. They didn't choose to have you, but they better figure it out like I did. That's really, it's crazy to me. So if that was the mindset, why the hell you even have them? That's literally what it is. Why the hell did you have them? Like my kids, they're gonna hate me till the day that they die. And if they do hate me till the day I die, of course I'm love them, but I'm loving them because I'm going to put so much force on them so that, and it's not force on them for their benefit. I'm putting force on them for their children's benefit. Just like I put force on me for their benefit. My kids have the most unlucky lives out of everybody on earth because they got a father that is an asshole, one, but they're going to stay on them no matter what. But the reason why I'm staying on them is not because of, oh, I want to say I'm the matriarch or something. No, it's I want them and I want their kids to never have to go through the crazy shit that I had to go through growing up. That's what it's all about. So if I say something that offends them or make them mad, and hopefully I have this conversation with my kids all the time, and my kids watch this channel. I hope that they understand that it's for the betterment of them. No matter how I say it, I want them to do better for them and their family so that we not going in reverse. We're only progressing forward. Because it's amazing to me how a lot of families that I talk to and see, it's people back there in the 60s that's doing better than them now. If we progressing forward, how the hell are we still living in reverse? That's something that we need to think about. But again, nobody, especially in this generation of this interest rates that keep falling, everybody's like, oh, well, I'm going to get mine, you get yours. That's like the old Tupac and MC Breeze song for the people that's old enough to know what that song is. But just wanted to call out those caveats and say, until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you just won't get there. You just won't get there. But when you get there, the channel will still be here. And I hope you get it when you get to that point, and I hope you get it sooner rather than later, so you're not sitting there where you're in your 50s and 60s, and then now you have no revenue to bring to the game, and then trying to say, oh, I want to get better now. I hope you figure it out why you still have revenue and income to bring to the game to better yourself and improve yourself. All right, so let's get into the questions because I know I went on a diatribe for like 37 minutes. All right, so let's see what we got. I am D Joseph. I see you. As far as the Hanes brand, is it about eliminating the competition also? Of course. Jay, that's a great question. Of course. It's not about eliminating the competition. It's two things. Eliminating competition, one, but the thing is they get a footprint in the United States. So now they got a footprint in the United States. They got a footprint in Canada. But now with them owning the Hanes brands, now they can make it equal that it don't matter if you buy from them at Gildan or you buy from Hanes, you're still getting the same market share, or you still getting the money's still going to the holding company of both brands. So that's a good question. Slimmy Slim, you got the balls of steel to keep up the good work. Slim, thanks. I appreciate that. And I keep doing it, and I do it because I don't want somebody to fall through the cracks. I love to hear people win, and even though, and I told people this many years ago, that understanding financial literacy and trying to teach people financial literacy is the most heartbreaking thing that you can do, because most people are just going to keep doing what they're doing and then suffer, and then you got to sit there and act, and then you got to just act like everything's okay. But yeah, I keep going because it's those, one-offs, those two-offs that, tell me the good things out there, like the Landfair family that comes out there and, tell me they hit one of the pinnacle benchmarks that they was going for as far as network-wise. Those are the things that keep me going. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of sadness that goes on with seeing people that you love, care about, and then they just choose to keep going down a path that will be less beneficial for them. But then I also look at the relationship status of it. Is I'm giving this information, people not listening, and then the first thing they do, the people that's not listening, they want to reach back out to me and say, oh, well, I know you're listening to yourself, so how about you help me in this situation? I know, because I'm giving out this information, that people look like I'm the new ATM machine. But of course, y'all know from the early parts of this channel is the word no. You know, God bless the child that got his own. So everybody need to get their own, because I'm not here to. I'm not here, and my family's not here to finance people's bad financial decisions. So I know that will break up relationships. I know that will break up family memberships and everything like that. But that's the cross that I choose to bear. But I'm still keep giving the message. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And if they upset because they don't want to listen and think that I still supposed to finance their life, then so be it. God bless them, and life goes on. But Slim, thanks for that. Slim, thanks for telling everybody to like. Stephanie, Stephanie. This one of my Ace Boon Coons right here. We go at it all the time. Would you speak on how Chinese people revealed to the world that name brand clothing lines just cost pennies over there, but how the name brand companies increase the price tremendously? I love that question. And for people that was, especially when the tariffs was going off, they had the manufacturing CEOs or the manufacturing shift managers in China exposing all the secrets to the Hermes bags and all that. Everybody's seen it. I mean, those videos went viral. So if you still buying $25,000 Hermes bags that only cost maybe $2,500 to put together, that's shame on you. Shame on you. And I always say it, and Stephanie, we had this conversation that the poor and the middle class is the ones that make the rich rich. Because it ain't that many damn rich people out there buying Hermes bags. It's the people that in the middle class and poor that's faking it till they make it, that's going out there buying those Hermes bags that's probably worth maybe $20,000, but they want to make it look like that they worth $1 million. But you got to be a damn fool, and we talked about it 2 weeks ago about value and worth. You willing to pay $25,000 for a bag that the manufacturer just told you only costs $2,500, but you still pay for it. Shame on you. It's the craziest thing on earth. I mean, I wish it was a secret. Like, oh well, it's a secret society. We only pay $2,000. China totally exposed the whole gift branding market or the bag market, and then we still out there trying to buy it. We got to be some new damn fools. But oh well. But no, that was a good question, Stephanie. VS, hey, what's up? How's it going? Jordan, that's wild. Maybe the kids don't value the parents' knowledge a lot. This Stephanie again. Maybe the kids don't value the parents' knowledge a lot. Of the younger generation think that they are entitled. That's a good avenue, but I always go. Me, I am a look in the mirror type of person. If my kids do bad, yeah, I'm upset at what they did, but I always look and see where I messed up or where I can adjust my shot group at. I remember having this conversation with my cousin, and we talked about, his kids are into, shoes, clothes, makeup, yada yada yada. And then, of course, it's easy to say, oh no, she shouldn't be doing that. But the first thing I said was, well, the first thing you got to look at is look who our leaders are. And what I mean by look who our leaders are is, are you as a parent, are you as the father, and then, your wife as a mother, are y'all into shoes, clothes, and makeup? And then, of course, the answer is yes. You have to be the example that you want your kids to be. So I can't sit here and go blow a bag at Saks Fifth or blow all this money and then go sit there and tell my son, no, I can't do it. You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't do that. You have to be the example. Like my son, my younger son, we was in Japan, and then I took him to the Nike outlet and got him a pair of Nikes. But my son don't care about shoes. He don't care about clothes because we don't. And my younger son, just fortunate for him, when me and the family was into all the clothes and stuff, he wasn't born. By the time he was born, I just said, forget it. I'm just going to look like a bum. Throw on a Michigan shirt and just throw on some shorts and some Crocs, and life goes on. So he is the example of what we do. He don't care about the name. He don't care about Nike. He'll throw on any damn shoes. He don't care. 90% of the time, if you drove past my house, he probably walking around in his drawers with no shirt on. But you have to be the example that you want your kids. It's not a, hey, do as I say, not as I do. You have to be the example of what you want your kids to be. If you don't, then shame on you. Even my older son, I don't sit here and tell my older son, hey, you need to do that when he didn't see me do it. You have to be the example. I'm not sitting here on a throne dictating down to my kids. And a lot of parents think that that's what they supposed to do when they go live their good life and do whatever. And then when their kids mess up, oh, I told them. But you wasn't an example. Kids are going to do what they see you do, not what you say. What else we got here? Jordan, I counter that. It's the ease of information and access to things that don't take time to happen. Like instant pay services such as Apple Pay, even those older than the younger generation use it. Jordan, yeah, I can go with that. That it's easy to do it, pay as you go, and all that other stuff while people buy this stuff. But there's no discipline. That's simply what it is. I don't give a damn how much access, and trust me, I got access to capital that a lot of people have never even heard of. But I don't just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it so I can go just sit there and buy a Lambo. I hate driving. I'm not about to sit here and fake the funk. I'm not about to go put Mercedes and all this stuff in my driveway and it's just gonna sit there. I'm being 100% honest and I'm not flexing for this YouTube channel. If I fill up my tank one time a month, that's too much for me. That's how much I hate driving. One time a month, that's too much. It's discipline. If you don't need it, why the hell are you buying it? I don't give a damn what's out there, and I can buy all of it. Just don't do it. The only thing that if I buy all this crap that everybody's talking about, who the hell gonna be happy with it? I already said I don't like driving, so if I go sit there and buy a Mercedes and all these other new cars and set them in the driveway, who gonna be more impressed by it? Not me, because I ain't gonna drive it, so it's just a damn car payment in my driveway. The only people that's gonna be impressed by it is the neighbors that walk by or friends who may stop over. And FYI, I don't have friends that stop over. So am I buying it for them? Because I damn sure ain't buying it for me. That's the thing. People need to get out of this mindset that, oh, the world is, I gotta prove to people. I used to be in that mindset. So Jordan, I'm not sitting here, blaming you or talking to you about it. I used to be that guy. But the thing now I realize is I'd rather be the part than act the part. I'd rather have $1 million than have a whole bunch of bullshit and pretend like I got $1 million when the truth is I ain't got $20 in my pocket. I used to be that guy. So again, I'm not sitting on the throne throwing rocks down at the people. I was that guy. But then I realized, wait, if I stop spending all my energy and efforts trying to look the part and actually be the part, and I spent all my energy and effort trying to be the part, it's the same energy, and then I get there. But then when you get there, you realize, why the hell am I buying that stuff? I don't need that shit. But it's the same energy. It's just we choose to use our energy to fake flex, to fake act like we do. Like we doing something that we're really not doing. So Jordan, that's a good question, but I think that people just need to change their mindset on it. All right, so the next question is, what do you think, what is your opinion or prediction for what's coming up in the coming months? It's very uncertain. I don't think it's very uncertain. I think it's very certain. First off, you gotta stop listening to the news, and then if you're gonna listen to the news, you're gonna actually educate yourself about the subject matter that they're talking about. And what I mean by that is, if you just listen to the news and you believe that that's all the information, then you're sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. People, I mean, trust me, I have conversations, and that's why I said Stephanie, me and her go way back. We have in-depth conversations. You know, she leans one side, and I have conversations with other people. They lean a whole nother side, but the crazy part is the conversations are the conversations, and I try to only base the conversation based off facts. Based off facts. I mean, a lot of people try to bring their feelings into it, but I don't care about your feelings. I care about 100% facts. If you're not bringing the facts, I don't care. I don't care what side it is. I don't give a damn if you a MAGA Trump supporter. If you're not bringing facts, I don't care. I literally had a guy yesterday, a Trump supporter. He told me Jerome Powell hates Donald Trump. I said, "What facts do you have to support that?" And then he just clammed up. He more than clammed up. He said, "Damn this! I ain't got to talk about this," and hung up the phone. Because people don't want to deal in facts. They want to deal in innuendos. They want to deal in their feelings, their emotions. And the true reality is what's happening is what's happening. Why? What's going on in the world affecting you and your pockets? I don't know. It should be no politician that gets hired or elected that should be affecting you and your family. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, everybody on this channel know that I lean more to the right than the left. When Biden got elected, I didn't say, "Oh man, Biden got elected, now I'm screwed." I've actually said when Biden got elected, I would pay less taxes than when Trump was in office the first time. Every time that I pointed out something that I didn't like about what Biden was doing, I presented facts. But he didn't affect what I was doing. He didn't affect what my family's doing. Stop getting involved in the minutia of what the news media is trying to tell you of what's important. If it don't affect you, then why the hell is anybody even worried about it? But of course, the media is going to make it seem like, oh, it's white against black, black against Chinese, Chinese against this, the Jews against that. No. Money is universal. It ain't saying, oh, we'll give it to you if you're black, we'll give it to you if you're Jewish. Only thing, if you do this, no matter what color you are, you will get the money. If you do this, no matter what color you are, if you do make bad mistakes, you're going to lose money. Just like it's poor people in the hood of the United States, is poor people in the trailer parks of the United States. It's poor people in the south side of San Antonio, meaning like Hispanics and Mexicans. Because they choose to do bad stuff with money. It's not all the separatists that's going on that the media try to convince you of. So stop being inundated and brought into this mindset that that's the stuff that needs to happen and the things that you need to focus on. Only thing that's important is you, your family, and the money. And the money don't have any color. The money just care about you being a good steward of money, then more money will follow you and get to you. But until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the situation you're in, that's the only time you're going to change. I seen another video right before I got on here. A gentleman said, "This is the best life advice that I could ever give you." You can erase 40 years. If you're 41 years old, you can erase 40 years of mistakes in your life if you drastically decide to change today. If you're not drastically deciding to change, then you're going to get what you get. That's it. You're going to get what you get. You spent 40 years, everything you did up to now has got you in the situation you had that you're very disappointed in. If you think that you're going, oh, I'll do a little bit of the new stuff and then keep doing the old stuff, you just decide to be broke. Unless you drastically change today, that's how you can erase 40 years, 50 years, 60 years of the mistakes that you made. And the thing is I've seen it. I'm not repeating this just because, oh, somebody on YouTube said it. I've seen it. People, I done gave you historical events of my mom. 60 years. She did it the way that she's been taught or learned how to do it in her ways. And it ended up to zero. But now, she moved to Florida and she drastically changed, and then now she can afford to do whatever she wants to do. Hell, now she's going on more vacations than me, so I'm going to have to find her and track her down. But that is what happens. Unless you're willing to do a drastic change from what you've been doing, your situation is not going to get much different. That's just the true reality of it. All right, we got a couple more in here, and then I'm gonna get off of here. What do you, oh, that's a good question, VS. What do you wish you had understood about money earlier in life? Uh, well, I grew up, and that's a great question. I grew up when people say, "Oh, money is made to be spent." I wish I would have known better. That no, it's all about building a foundation and make your life better. Money is not made to be spent. Money is made to make more money. The world's going to make you spend money anyway. So don't look for more ways to make you spend money. Find ways to do opposite of what the world is trying to make you do. So that is a hell of a question. I love that one. VS came back with another one. How do you think about balancing financial security with taking calculated risk? I love that question also. VS, you about to be on a roll. Financial security and calculated risk. I believe for most people, me, I'm more of a risk taker. Like I said, I've been to Iraq too many damn times and Afghanistan too many times. I'm more of a risk taker, but I believe you should have a 6 month emergency fund, and then anything over the 6 months emergency fund, you should be able to take any risk you want to. So worst come to worst, you got the emergency fund, you take a risk, and then you still got the emergency fund to fall back on until you regrow and make that happen. For me personally, I'm all gas, no brakes. I believe that I should risk every dollar. I hate seeing money in any account. That's just me. And yes, do I have avenues to pay for my everyday month to month life? Yes, but I am all gas, no brakes. I believe in taking risks, but for majority, main people, emergency fund, then take risk to balance the financial security in there. And when I say take risk, I mean in emergency fund, and then we get to the investment element, 50% or so in the S&P 500 index, and then whatever risk you want to take outside of that, God bless you, go ahead and go for it. Because taking risks, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but you still have that balance out there to make that work. So if we looking at just the investment portfolio type apparatus, 50% going into the S&P 500, maybe 50% maybe going into dividend kings and aristocrat. I mean, 25% going into dividend and kings and aristocrats, and then you got 25% out there just YOLO in life, trying to do cryptocurrency, meme coins, and all that other crap that's out there. And hell, start a small business or whatever. I'm all for it. But you still have some balance out there. But hell of a question. What principles or rules have guided your financial decision the most over your career? Me, I'm a hybrid between Dave Ramsey and Robert Kiyosaki. Thanks, VS, for the question. I am a hybrid of those. I 100% believe in not having any personal debt or consumer debt. I'm meaning that cars, clothes, shoes, credit cards. I do not believe in having any of those. But when I say I'm a hybrid, I do also believe in leveraging debt, far as buying assets to lower my tax burden and to leverage things in different apparatus as far as investments and all that to avoid paying taxes in the Robert Kiyosaki method. So I am a hybrid between them both. Stephanie said we argue like cats and dogs. Stephanie is 100% correct. We do argue like cats and dogs because Stephanie's crazy, and that's what I'm going to stick to because of my channel, like I said. VS, great question. If you were my age starting out today, how would you prioritize saving, investing, and spending? VS, I don't know how old you are, but let's just say you're 18 years old. Oh, I think this. Well, all right. So no, sorry, VS. That's a great question. I know who this is now. So at your age, starting out today, how would you prioritize saving, investing, and spending? And for people that don't know, VS is 16 years old, and these are hell of a questions. And I'm sorry for cussing. I didn't realize who I was talking to at first. But saving, investing, me, I am 100%. If I could rewind and do it again, I would 100% try to avoid spending whatsoever at 16, and then I would try to invest everything long term because about time you get to 25, 26, especially family growing age and all that benefit would go to you. I mean, of course, I know everybody wants to spend, has to spend, but I would try to minimize spending to the lowest, and then let's just say if we had 100% of money, and then your money's coming in, I would prioritize 10 to 15% towards spending. I would do another 10% towards saving, and I would invest the other 75%, especially because, again, we always talk about time. Time. Investing is about time. The longer you're in the game, the more money you're going to make. So you being at 16, I would try to put as much money in as investing now at an earlier point in my life, so I'm not trying to catch up at a later point in my life. But these are great questions. I love this. And he's only 16, guys. I just want to throw that out there. He's 16 and asking these questions. What's the next one? What's the biggest financial mistake you see people make over, and this is VS again. What's the biggest financial mistake you see people make over and over again? How can you avoid it? The biggest financial mistake is people can't stop spending. That is the biggest financial mistake that people make. They keep spending. They keep trying to keep up with the Joneses. They keep trying to look cool. They keep having a McDonald's budget, trying to go to Red Lobster every day. I just say, look at the inverse. How about have Red Lobster money and then have a McDonald's budget? That means you can go to Red Lobster when you want to, but if you don't want to go, you don't have to. But everybody they got a McDonald's budget, but they got, a Red Lobster status of living. I mean, for people, I know people that make $10, $12 an hour talking about, oh no, I got to at least have organic. Oh, well, go get your skills up go get organic skills. So they choose to have these levels of saying, hey, I should have this, I should have this, but they ain't even got the skills to make sure they can maintain it. People will sit there and lie to themselves. So these are great questions. I mean, I wish the older group would come up with these questions, but yeah, these are the questions. These are the things that I just don't understand. And again, I came from that realm. I'm not sitting here acting like, oh, I never did that. I was the guy. I was the guy that was spending thousands of dollars a night playing poker, knowing damn well I was using my credit card to fucking fund it. I know who I am. And I'm calling myself stupid for doing it. But it's funny now that when I was faking it till I made it and act like I had it, when I didn't, everybody loved me. But now I have it, and then I don't go out and do those crazy things, then people are like, oh man, what's wrong with you? It's funny, the people with way less money than me always trying to tell me what to do with my money. If you so smart, then you should have more. If you so smart, you wouldn't even have to tell me what to do with mine because you already doing it with yours. But they act like they Plato and Socrates when it comes to money when they can't even rub two nickels together. But, all right, I'm going to get off of it. But those are the big financial mistakes that I've made. I tried to act like I was something that I wasn't. I'm a fake it till you make it kind of guy. And now that I make it, I ain't trying to give up a damn dime. I went last night to see that Denzel movie. I went to the Denzel movie, cost $100. Man, I almost passed out. $100 for a movie and some snacks? Nah. Yeah, could I afford it? That ain't got nothing to do with me being able to afford it. It was what the heck? Popcorn, some nachos. Man, hell no. I want my money back. Movie was decent. Go ahead and watch it. That new Denzel movie, Spike Lee joint, go watch it. But I want my $100 back. I don't give a damn. Y'all can call me cheap. Y'all can call me whatever y'all want to. I'll still want my money back. Matter of fact, I'm shaking down my kid because he was with me and he was the one that had the most snacks. I'm getting my money back. But any other questions out there? Jordan, I see you say something. Wait, huh? But I don't know what that means. But it looked like we didn't pass our threshold mark. Thanks everybody for joining in. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week. And you got to do what's best for you. And when you get sick and tired, that's when you'll be sick and tired. Oh, yeah. Jordan's talking about the $100. Yeah, $100, Jordan. I want my money back. All right, we ain't going to pay attention to what I'm talking about. But y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.